He's waited for this night. He's waited for me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk. This is going to be our fourth video in our Halloween review series. Fifth if you include 6, H2O and Resurrection, which we reviewed that Scream Factory 3 movie set. But we're here today to talk about the two newest Halloween movies, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, both of them directed by David Gordon Green, and a co-writer on them is Danny McBride, who you might remember from This Is the End and Eastbound and Down. He's a really funny guy, awesome hair, love his work. And
Danny McBride. I still can't believe Danny McBride had anything to do with
I know
these
exactly
movies.
where Danny McBride contributed to these scripts.
Really?
Yes, I do, because he's probably the guy who adds that comedic element to both of them.
Okay.
That we both actually really enjoy. But before we get too far into the weeds, if you are a fan of 4K Blu-ray reviews, movie reviews, tech reviews, game reviews, we do them all here on the channel. Nothing helps out more than by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. So the way this works is because Halloween loves to play fast and loose with their timelines, and I believe that this is their fourth different timeline. So this timeline, Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, returns. She is not Michael's sister. That is the big addition to this. Halloween 2 never happened. So basically, after Halloween, she is traumatized by this. She has a daughter who in this series is played by Judy Greer, who I will always think of Fatty Magoo from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So every time I see her pop up. So now, she doesn't have a relationship at all with her daughter played by Judy Greer and now her granddaughter. She is still so traumatized by Michael. Michael's never gotten out of jail. But these two podcasters go and visit him because they're trying to dig up what happened in Haddonfield all those years ago. What made this man kill his sister and then made him go on a murder spree in 1978. And what's he up to now? You know, he's obviously gotten older. And, of course, because they never learn in any of these movies.
Yeah, well, then we have an asshole doctor
Yeah.
that wants to study Michael in his environment.
What makes him so evil. And, you know, I honestly... What does make a man do that? He hasn't spoken this whole time, they say. He has the ability to. And that's basically where our story gets going. Obviously, they have to transfer him because why leave him where he is? That would just make sense. You know, nothing's gone wrong for 30 years, so, hey, you know what? Oh, actually, it's 40 years. I'm sorry. It's 40 years. Nothing has happened. He hasn't spoken. It's like, let's send him somewhere else now. So, of course, what happens when they do? He escapes, and he's going hunting.
Oh, yeah.
And he's hunting for one person
and what's the first thing he does? He goes to a mechanic's garage, and he finds his coveralls.
Yep.
That's his thing. He loves the coveralls. I'm not sure what he's attached to with that, you know.
But
I haven't seen him in, like, a Hawaiian sweater or a Hawaiian shirt button-up. And
hey, I think it's got to be for flexibility purposes. Because this something, he always grabs the coveralls. He's like...
Well, it's cool out, so...
Yeah, he needs something that's... Because he's not looking to wear anything else. But he always knows how to drive. So he gets back to Haddonfield. Luckily, these podcasters had his mask. You know, it's a little bit fucked up now, but they had his mask. So he's got that back on. And he's going around killing it. I really think... They did a phenomenal job with this film. I love this movie.
Yeah. I like it more and more every time I watch it. I remember seeing it in theaters. I was like, that was a great movie. But I watched it a few times since on 4K, and I really, really like it more and more every time. This previous watching, I was like, that was a fucking awesome movie.
Yeah, the tone in these movies are really good. Like I said, I think Danny McBride really contributed to like the comedic element, giving it a little bit light heart kind of feel to it. Even though, obviously, it's brutal. And some of the best scenes in this movie, I think my favorite scene is when the score kicks in and it's just like a tracking shot and he's going around, goes into the one girl's house, kills her, that's where he gets his knife. Mm-hmm. I just love that. I think the score, it's one of my favorite scores over like the last 10 years. I was telling Matt today, I listen to the score just all the time, just on its own. John Carpenter with Cody Carpenter did a great job on it. I love it.
And this is like the first time in a long time, like, this movie is legitimately scary. Like, I remember this one scene when they're cutting through this backyard.
Oh my god!
And right before the kid gets hung up on the iron fence, like when the lights pop on and Michael's like right behind him, and then that like stinger with the score that. And, Yeah, oh my god, it's amazing. Especially with my subwoofer was going crazy. It was...
And like the lights would go out and then he'd get closer. And
excellent.
Perfect tension right there. Like the only complaint I really have, and it's what a lot of people complained, is like the doctor and just how he ends up... Well, he didn't end up killing Will Patton. We wouldn't find that out till the next movie that he actually survived. But we thought in 2018 he was dead. He stabbed him in the throat.
Yeah, the doctor was a piece of shit.
Yeah, he throws him in the back of the car with Laurie's granddaughter. And then they end up back at Laurie's house and we find out that Laurie...
But the doctor thing, even that was an awesome scene when, from Allison's perspective, when she can't really see over the hood of the car, and then the doctor gets up and he's putting on the mask, and he just wants to know what it's like to wear the mask to be Michael, and then he killed somebody, and he goes, so that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Or something like
that.
that.
Yeah, this guy's just, I mean, he's a sicko himself. I mean, you shouldn't let this guy be in charge of any patients because he clearly needs his own sort of therapy. But anyway, well, he gets his comeuppance, of course. That leads him back to Laurie's house. He kills the cops there. He goes in there, and he thinks he's got the upper hand, but little does he know, Jamie Lee Curtis has set up a trap. She's been waiting 40 years for this, locks him in the basement, sets that son of a bitch on fire, and Judy Greer, her, the granddaughter, they all get out. Everything seems all copacetic.
Well, she's been training her whole life now. She trained her daughter. I don't think the granddaughter got too much training. Or any at all, maybe.
No, I don't think so. But she does a damn good job.
Yeah, no, she did pretty well. There was a throwaway line like, this house isn't my prison, it's a trap for Michael. And she's, towards the end of it, like, I think you can cut the tension with a knife. The house is pitch black, and Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, is going through with the gun, and she's clearing each room. And then as she clears the room, she hits the button, and these metal gates drop. So Michael can't get into the room behind her, so she's just making it smaller and smaller until finally she finds him.
Yeah, no, it's perfect planning. I love that scene. I love him standing there with the fire around him. One aspect of this film I want to just make a little bit of a note of as far as the cinematography goes is they take a lot of the aspects from the first Halloween, especially like, you know, in the first one we see Michael fall off the roof and then he disappears.
Right.
This time it's Jamie Lee Curtis. And
falls off and then he looks down and she's gone.
And then another iconic shot right out of Halloween is when we first see Michael's mask in the background. It's so dark but we could see his mask. This time it's Laurie's face coming after and hunting Michael. And that is just a great juxtaposed kind of shot from the original to that. I love it when they do things like that. And it's perfect. And then it just perfectly leads right into Halloween Kills. And Halloween Kills, it really got horrible reviews last year. But
I don't know why.
And there were two people who walked out of a theater last October together, arm in arm, very excited about what they said.
Yeah, I fucking loved Kills. I was like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I loved Halloween Kills too. Now, do I agree with all the story choices that they made? No, I do not.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight!
Evil dies tonight!
Yeah, that drove me absolutely nuts. It still does. Anthony Michael Hall, who many people might recognize from The Breakfast Club,
I like him.
16 Candles, like, you know, this nerdy guy from the 80s. And now he's just a really annoying old man in this movie, getting the crowd all riled up, but they end up killing an innocent guy. Evil dies tonight! I hated it. That whole aspect of the movie drove me nuts. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but they set up 3 other couples in this movie, a husband and wife, a nurse and a doctor. Another couple, like, just in their house. One of them is played by me and Matt. We remember him as Uncle Teddy from Rescue Me.
Yes,
I love this couple. And then Big John and Little John.
Big John and Little John were the best.
Oh, yeah. So we had these 3 couples, and they do a good job developing them, and then all just for Michael to end up killing them. But that was all great. Like, Michael going house to house. He killed, like, I think they said, like, 11 policemen and firemen.
Oh, the kill count was insane. That beginning scene...
Oh my god, with the fucking the saw thing, and he just, oh man, it's brutal, but it's done in such a good way. I don't understand why everyone really hated it. I just thought that, like, feels like a middle chapter. This is him going around, now he has to come out on top.
Right.
And he does.
He sure does. And that was another thing with the end that I really, really liked. Her daughter she goes to rescue her daughter, Allison, and she gets Michael's mask off. So she said, you want your mask? You want your mask? She gets him to follow her. And she runs through the streets, and then she throws it on the ground, and then he goes to pick it up. As he picks it up, all the headlights come on, the cars come and slam on the brakes. I love that old Ford, the F-250 that comes over there. the original body style Ford. I like that truck. They got him. They corner him. They're all coming up to him with bats and guns and knives and pitchforks, and they got everything. They're ready to fucking destroy this guy. And then Michael looks at everybody, he reaches down for the mask. He's like, all right, you guys want to rock and roll? He puts on the mask, and he's ready. And they beat the shit out of him, but he finds his opening, and then he takes out everybody.
Yep.
And the the body count has to be in the 30s.
I don't know. If you guys know exactly what it is, put it in the comment section below, but I guarantee it's more than any other movie, because I think he only killed 6 in the original, and that was considered a lot. They still talk about it, but this guy wiped out a quarter of the town tonight, and then he's got to get one more kill, and at the very end, he gets Judy Greer's character, brutally murders her, and that's going to lead us into Halloween Ends.
Which I'm very excited for.
Yes, and me and Matt have predictions, and I think that both Jamie Lee Curtis and Mike Myers die in this. I think this is the finale that they've been building towards, but you have different thoughts.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Jamie Lee, she's done. I think Laurie Strode is finally going to die, and I think Michael is going to kill her, and Michael will survive, and it's going to be Michael versus Allison, Jamie's granddaughter, in the next, or even if there's not another movie, I don't think Michael's dying, because he hasn't died up to this point. You can't kill him. I just don't think it ends for Michael. I think it ends for Jamie Lee. I think her Halloween ends. That's my opinion.
Well, we'll know in our review for that coming very shortly, so we'll tell you exactly what happens. We'll do a non-spoiler spoiler review for that, so we can give you our thoughts, and we'll let you know who was right and who was wrong. But both of these movies have very nice 4K Blu-ray releases.
They sure do.
And I believe they're both Universal 4Ks, if I'm correct.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So these have no connections to the Scream Factory 4Ks we've been talking about, but they do something really cool with the slipcover, and I like that they're uniform to each other.
Yeah, they got like this raised, embroidered, or I don't know what they want to call it, but it's just that raised font almost, and they're just beautiful, and they're just simple, but they're super nice. I like the matte black, and then a little bit of color to it. Kills has the color, I guess, because he was burned there, so the fire, and then actually, I almost like the 2018 one a little bit better.
I already can tell you what the Halloween End slipcover is going to be. If you've seen the poster, it's got the knife through the mask. That'll be lifted up on the Halloween End slipcover when that comes around.
Yeah, we'll see.
And those will look uniform on your shelf until we get an eventual definitive collection, maybe one day down the line.
Now, I want to add, these are a bit different. So, 2018 does not have Dolby Vision. It has just regular HDR10. And this has a DTS-X audio track. It still sounds great, sounds awesome. I think this is a fantastic 4K disc. I thought it looked great on my setup. Yeah, fantastic movie, fantastic disc. If you can still get it with the slipcover, I highly recommend it because the slipcover is gorgeous. Big fan of this. And I'm a big fan of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we didn't even talk about I love the little kid that she was babysitting.
That's where Danny McBride...
he was the fucking highlight for me when Michael comes out of the closet and he's like...
Oh, shit!
I love that. I love it like when he says, send her boyfriend up. Yeah. Send him up because she doesn't want him to die. He doesn't want her to die. She wants him to die. So.
I forgot. Yeah. And there was a callback to him in Kills that the nurse and the doctor couple were in the bar and they were watching the kid on the screen, and he was like, "That's the little asshole kid from across the street."
So they know that he was a dick.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to point out, you had a lot of nice things to say about Halloween, but I thought Halloween Kills was a much better 4K than Halloween. My personal opinion,
well, it's newer. It's got Dolby Vision.
Yeah, well, I also thought that Halloween, the way they shot it, I don't know what it is that they do with the way they shoot things now, especially in the horror genre. You just see it all the time, where like the lights just feel very overexposed, and they almost like blow out the entire scene, and I just don't like that. It's not the Move 4K's choice, it's really just an artistic choice the way they shoot it, and they didn't do that in Halloween Kills, and I think it makes for a better 4K experience, in my opinion.
I thought this looked fine.
Well, no, you see, you bring that up, but I did test, so I watched it on my LED, but I went and tested those scenes on the OLED to make sure that I wasn't seeing anything crazy. It's just, I just don't like the way it's shot. It's a good 4K, but I just think I don't know. It doesn't work for me. It's not only the movie's fault, because I did go test it out. I also have a C1 OLED. I have two TVs. I have a Sony LED 950H, and I have an LG C1, which is what Matt has. Matt has two OLEDs. I have one OLED, but I wanted to test it out to find out. Now, given when I tested it out the second time, I didn't use my 4K player. I used my Xbox Series X to test it out, but same thing. It just, I don't know. It just really bothers me, and it's just something they do in horror a lot now, and just in cinematography in general. I think it makes it look nicer and give it more of a cinema flair, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, again, I didn't really bump into anything visually on either of them. I thought they both looked fantastic. Kills definitely looked better, but that's also it was shot a little bit differently, and Kills has Dolby Vision, where 2018 only had HDR.
What did you like about Kills the most, though, that you haven't brought up yet?
My favorite part about Kills was the homage, well, not even the homage, just the flashback scenes to 1978, which I thought they fucking nailed.
They look great.
It looked so awesome, and they did such an amazing job with that. I want a whole movie just that.
And I like that 1978 because the way they shot it felt different than the rest of the movie.
Yes, yep. And I really love Kills so much. I think it's such an amazing entry to the series, and I cannot wait to see what they do when it ends. I really love these 4Ks, and I do actually want to touch on the alternate ending for the Halloween Kills. So they really stretch the name extended cut. It's really an extended cut. It's not an alternate ending. So basically how Halloween Kills ends after Michael kills... I forget her name again. The mother, Laurie's daughter.
Just say Judy Greer.
Judy Greer. How Michael kills her. And then you see her dead on the floor, and then it pans up to Michael, and then I think it focuses on the knife.
Yeah, and then it just ends.
Halloween Kills. So what the extended cut, because that's all it does, is it adds like a minute and a half to the ending. So instead of credits, it goes back to Judy Greer's character dead on the floor, and then you hear a cell phone vibrating. It pans over to the cell phone, unknown caller, and then the next scene is Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, in the hospital, and she's on a phone, a landline on the wall, and she's like, "Come on, pick up," and then it picks up, and it's just Michael's breathing, and then you can see she's upset, and then she just goes to, "I'm coming for you, Michael," or "I'm gonna get you, Michael," and she drops the phone, and then it ends from there.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't do that ending, to be honest with you. It's because, her daughter just died, and it's showing like, well, no, I care more about hunting down this killer, not the fact that my daughter's... she might not know she's dead, but why else would he be answering the phone? Did he steal her phone to make some phone calls to his buddies? I don't know.
Well, it was ringing. He was probably like, "Oh, what is this?"
Yeah, just picking up random phones. I don't know. Maybe he knew. I don't know. He's got that...
He probably didn't even know what it is. He's been locked away for 40 years.
Never seen a cell phone, right?
Yeah, it has to be his
He's
first.
been hanging around with Umbrella Guy for all these years, so... I don't know. But overall, I think it's a high recommendation from both of us for both of these 4Ks, and for the series in general.
And I think this is on sale from Groove or whatever. It's like $12.99 right now or something like that, I think.
And you just grabbed it from Best Buy for me for $15.99 too, right? Which is also on sale. So really, and that's a good 4K, and they both really are.
Fantastic.
And if you're a fan of the Halloweens, these two for us, we might be in the minority, but we both really do enjoy Kills a lot, and we've enjoyed both of these movies. We can't wait to see Halloween Ends. Check out for that review coming pretty soon. And if you want to help us out, you can grab both of these 4Ks from our Amazon affiliate link, which you can find in the description below. That really does help us out. It costs no extra for you, and it helps the channel out so we can keep doing these 4K Blu-ray reviews. And nothing else would help us out even more than by you liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and telling all your friends. It's Friday, and that means it's time to ask this week's 2 digital code giveaway questions. If you're brand new to the channel, this is what we do every single Friday. Every Friday, we ask 2 giveaway questions. All you have to do is answer one of them, and you're automatically entered into our digital code giveaway. And if you are one of the lucky winners, you get your choice of the digital codes that you've seen on your screen before you. And if you do enter into the giveaway, you come back to Monday's video. I will label it digital code announcement winner, and we spin our magic wheel. And this week, it's going to be 2 winners again. And if you are one of those 2 lucky winners, you have your choice of the digital code. So I figured this week, in honor of it being basically Halloween, the series week here on the channel, and we've been reviewing pretty much almost all of the Halloween films. Not all of them yet, we're saving some for the end of the month, but going into Halloween Ends this week, we figured, you know what, let's dive into the 4Ks and to the films and see what we got. And in honor of Halloween Ends coming out, we figured we'd ask all of you, if you are fans of the Halloween series, what is your favorite Halloween film? It could be the 1978 one like Matt, or it could be the Halloween 3 one like me, or it could be any of the other ones. I know for a fact that we have a big fan of Halloween Resurrection who is subscribed to this channel, and I'm pretty sure that's his favorite Halloween film. Matt really loves Halloween Resurrection as well, so it doesn't really matter which one of those Halloween films is your favorite. And then if you're not a fan of Halloween films or horror films in general, I figured I'd ask you guys something else. In the month of October, what is one movie you cannot skip that really gives you that Halloween fall feel? So what is a movie in October that you just can't skip? You watch it every single year. So that's going to be this week's 2 digital code giveaway questions. The first one is simple. What is your favorite Halloween franchise film? And the second one is, what is a movie in October you watch every single year? And as always, guys, thank you so much for being a fan of Let's Talk. Nothing helps out more than by liking this video and subscribing to the channel.